Paying the crowd.
Well, we wait until I call them up and then they can have it whenever they have.
It's rolling.
All right.
We're on.
So, thank you all for coming. I only got 3 pages here. So yeah, what a right? It feels longer than normal. We ended last year without even being able to have an end of season party. So it's nice that we're able to get together this time to actually do it. Last year we didn't even know when tryouts were going to be. Once the rinks opened, we had to hurry up and get everybody in there, and we actually got them done just in time before they closed down again. Some of the older kids actually, we had to change around their tryouts and everything because COVID and everything. But my main concern throughout the season was obviously just for practices, for games, and so from that perspective, it's successful. So it seems so long ago, but remember when we could only put one team on the ice for practices? Or even more crazy, we only had 9 skaters, a goalie, and a coach for games. We had to rotate players in and out of the locker room during the game.
And then I wasn't sure how he got hurt, and then Gavin
had to get dressed. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then he got hurt, and then we had to redress Gavin.
So we actually had 7 games where we had to play with only. No regular season games, but there were some scrimmages, there was a tournament, preseason games, yeah. So it's crazy. It's like you almost forget about all that from so long ago. And then we had the magic bumpers that we were able to put up that magically kept COVID away, and now we can have multiple teams on the ice. Started getting a little bit more back to normal. And then we shut down again in December. And we're back to secret practices at Alpha and all our games in Ohio. But somehow we managed to get through a full season, got all our games in. And in fact, like I said, I was trying to get you guys on the ice as much as possible. I overshot a little bit. I was like, yeah, I think we might have played enough games. I'm like, I started counting. I'm like, yeah, I think you're probably right. We actually played 61 games this season.
Really?
61 games, yeah. So we'll play more than the NHL will this year in terms of regular season.
Wait, are we doing it to
No, we're done eating.
We're doing it.
So a huge part of that is all you parents getting them to these things, whether it's here or Alpha or driving to Ohio all this time. So big kudos to you guys for getting them there, even whenever you're not able to watch all the time, which I know sucks.
It's not yet.
You need a napkin?
He needs
Go grab a napkin.
One more alternative be serious. How is that even supposed to happen?
Like, be quiet.
It's more than that. Okay, that's enough. You're really smart. Cool.
You're really smart.
So, in a did a great job. Can we play here? Can we play there? Tough season to have as your first season as a manager. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Okay, so, and probably what made it even more incredibly cool this year, even with all those challenges, is the video.
Oh, yeah.
It started in September in Hershey, just a way to allow other parents that weren't able to be there to either watch out in the parking lot. You guys brought the big screen TV, watching the trunk. or watch at home. So that was really cool. Even though that first game or those first couple games, the production quality wasn't quite there. Number of camera angles, and he wanted to use all of them at various times. Made you a little sick watching. Joby, he's got some work to do as a cameraman, maybe. But even still, I mean, it was really cool at the time, and then it only looks bad in comparison to where we've come. So now it's must-see TV. Production value through the roof. You got intermission segments. You got pre-game intros. You got the in the box segment now. So seriously, you guys did awesome. I don't know what the relatives are going to do now that the hockey season's over. What they're going to do on the weekends. But I know, like that one game where we didn't do, all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh crap! I got to call my grandma or my uncle or whoever, because they're gonna." Not going to be able to watch. So.
I maybe got a few death threats from that.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Awesome job. Josh, great job on the camera. All those games. Okay, filling in, but Dawn not here, but obviously awesome job calling the game. And especially Jason, I can't imagine the hours you put in, figuring all of these things out and putting it together and everything. So, big thank you. So, that out of the way, let's get to the stars of Jason's little telecast here. I'll say a little something about each of you. Feel free to guess who I'm talking about as we go along. Once I introduce you, you can come up, shake hands, and you can go get your player gifts. Don't open them yet. Wait until everybody gets their stuff so we're not all distracted. So I'm going to start with, just because I wrote them down for everybody. They can watch, you can guess if they're at home. So I'll get started with one of our most improved players this year. I'm not sure if it helped that he couldn't hear his dad yelling at him this year quite as much as he has in years past, or if things just started to click. But he went from a -11 2 years ago and a -18 last year to a +44 this year.
Oh.
Huge improvement. Not only that, but he didn't wait until his last shift of the season to score a goal.
It's nice.
Nathan Snyder.
Nice.
Yay. There are a number of times where he almost got in the scrap, but he luckily never did. He's got a nose for the net, which ironically I went and I read what I wrote from the past couple of years after I wrote this one, and I said the exact same thing 2 years ago.
It's 2 years ago.
So he popped in a goal in almost a quarter of the games he played, including the playoff game this year. We'd have loved to have, he could have played a few more games because of that. Aiden Jennings. Next, another player likes to get under his opponent's skins. He's often chatting them up on the face-off circle, tapping them on the shin guards, or asking them about foods like pickles. He's a physical defender in front of the net, and he led the team in penalty minutes, although he got a third of them in one game. And able to play any forward position as well. Speaks to his versatility. Eli Jim.
They don't understand what you're talking about. Pickles would do it. Think about it. Think about it in the game. They're like, why did he ask me about pickles? Don't think about it.
Well, we're talking about physical players. The next player I'm going to talk about fits that description well. Opposing players just bounce off of him. Starts to putt for his line, but as soon as player over, he just skates back to the bench all calm like nothing even happened. Good defensively out there. He was out there for the second lowest percentage of goals against this season. And obviously he, as Jason would say, he got to his circle 15 times this season, Braden Hall. So speaking of keeping the puck out of the net, next player did a great job of that also. He's got great reflexes. He did a great job at the tournaments this season, going undefeated in tournament games. He also had a shutout this year versus Amherst, Nathan Howard. Next up, another versatile player as he played all three forward positions, which isn't always as easy as it sounds. The rink looks and feels completely different. Sometimes when you're on the left versus the right. Some players struggle with it, others make it look easy, like this player did. Player made it, he made it look so easy, he scored almost a point a game. One of his best games of the season was maybe that playoff game where he definitely left it all out there on the line. Matt Cook. Speaking of leaving it out there, this player also played tremendous in the playoff game, but he never takes a game. That wasn't to be surprised. Big surprise. One of 3 players to play in all 61 games. He was tied for the second highest plus-minus on the team. He was also out there for the second most goals scored, even though he might not be the first person to use it. The play-by-play guys marvel at his poke check, and I just like how he never gives up on the play. Cole Wilson. Next up, we have the only player not to take a penalty all season long. Why? Probably because he doesn't stop moving his feet. Also on the ice, fewer goals against than any other player. Only 31 times, or 23% of goals in games he played in. So to put that in perspective, Braden, who was second on the team, was on the ice for 31% of the goals against that he played in, right? So 23 to 31, that's how big a jump it was. This player's actions did go unrecognized by the team. He won the football 9 times, which is far and away the most times on the team. The Fergie Flyer.
Why'd you ask me to
And while the Fergie Flyer is fast, this next player is pretty fast too. And while he usually cares more about keeping the puck out of the net, he can put up points too. He had a playmaker versus Valley Forge in the International PB Cup tournament. But like I said, he was just happy keeping the other team at bay, and he did a great job of that this season. In fact, he was a plus or even in 18 of his first 20 games this year. So while we're keeping the pucks out of the net, and this next player was most concerned with that as well, but he put up points as well, earning 2 assists this season. And while there were a couple other games where he would have liked to have gotten one, he did still manage to earn 7 shutouts this season. Yeah. Just saying, right? He gets paid a little bit for that.
Gavin gets paid a few cents.
All right. Next we have another Iron Man playing in all 61 games, and I think he might have been the most improved player this season. This really started clicking for him, where he was making the right play more often than not. So much so that he finished 3rd on the team in assists with 35 this year. Not too bad for a player who only had 6 assists 2 years ago and 11 assists last year. Maybe it's because he doesn't go off sides every other shift anymore. right, next we have a player who's a big part of the team. He averaged almost a point per game, and he made a big difference when he was there offensively, even when he didn't get a point. In games he played in, he was on the ice for almost 53% of our goals. Right, so those games he played, 53% of the time that we scored, he was on the ice. That's 7% more than the next closest player. That big player, of course, is Bubba. The third and final who played all 61 games. He's a goal scorer who had a lot more consistency to his game this year. He was tied for second most goals scored, and he had the second most power play goals as well. Once he gets going, no one can stop the DJ, David Gallup. Next up, we have a player who often makes us coaches pull their hair out. He doesn't always make the play that we might want him to. His shot sometimes a little bit wild, and he doesn't always get that shot off as fast as we might like. But somehow, he usually comes out of it with a goal, assist, or a plus. In fact, he was tied for the second highest plus-minus on the team with a plus 53. And he also scored over 20 goals and added another 20 assists. Next we have another player who's adept at getting points. In fact, he had more goals, assists, and points than anybody else, falling just 3 points shy of 100 points this season. And he led the team with a plus 58 as well and had the highest face-off percentage. Cooper Hain. So, that leaves two players. Very similar statistics, and they often played on the same line. One was tied with scored. The other was second in assists. One led the team in power play goals and was tied for the lead in shorthanded goals. And the other had our only empty net goal of the season. I'm not sure. I must have forgot to write one down or something. I can't believe we really scored one. Did you score one? All right.
Doesn't matter. Matthias has the most short. Oh yeah.
Anyhow, one finished first in scoring 2 seasons ago and was third last year. The other finished third 2 seasons ago and was second last year. So, with 34 goals, 28 assists, and 62 points, Shane Scholar. And with 32 goals, 37 assists, and 69 points, Matias Lozano. All right, and last but not least, that's all the players. Last but not least, obviously I want to thank the assistant coaches again for all your help on the ice. Thanks, guys. Yeah, you can open that. You can also grab your hockey cards are up here as well. Find the one with your picture on the front. They're all the same. They got everybody's card in there, but that way you know.
Guys, I have one more gift for you guys, but it's a little late. You'll get it in like a week. And I also all the help that we had this year. And also I have something else coming for you guys that probably won't be here until this weekend.
Coach Bubba.